Hey, I'm Mark,
And I'm Chris.
and we're the leftovers.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
I did not agree to that.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mark.
What's going on?
You're more subdued this week. I kind of like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not so loud. Every other week, you're like screaming.
Well. Let's talk about you today.
I don't want to talk about me
Why?
because I don't want to
I didn't say me. I said you.
Yes, me.
No.
I'm confused now.
Exactly.
What do you want to talk about? You said you
You.
wanted to talk about me.
Did I ever say me?
No, you said you.
Exactly. Boom. Hush. That's it. You got it. You.
I got it. Yes,
Yep.
me. I don't want to talk about me.
Who's on first?
What's on second? I don't know. Is on third. That doesn't answer my question.
We're going to talk about you. You.
All right. Well, I was born in.
No, not yet.
Then what are you talking about?
You.
Explain it.
Explain it.
Explain what you're talking about.
Explain what I'm talking about. Well, I'm glad you asked, Chris. Do you ever wonder who you is?
No, I know who I am.
That person, you, in my notes here, is hard to explain. When you stop and think about it, who are you?
I am a father. I am a son. Well, actually, I'm backtrack.
How
I'm
would
a Christian.
you-
I'm a father. I'm a son.
How would you, if somebody said, "Hey, Chris," which I say on a weekly
You say
basis,
every week.
who are you? What would be your first answer?
I just was starting on that.
Okay. But I said, "Hey, Chris, who are you?"
I'm a Christian. I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a husband. I am a carpenter.
Would you not start out saying, "I'm Chris"?
No, because you said, "Hey, Chris," so you already know my name.
I know that. But a lot of people would start out with their name. But did you ever stop and think about, I didn't until this past week, you didn't give you your name. That was given to you by others. If you had the chance to name you, would you have the same name as you do now?
From the very beginning or from like now on?
It would be kind of hard to give yourself a name at 1 hour old.
Exactly. That's
But
why
if you got to a spot in life where you're like, okay, I am Monkey Man. That's
Monkey Man.
that's my name.
I'm going to call you that now, Monkey Man.
But if you got to a point in life and at that point you can give yourself a name, do you feel like you would be more that name, or do we work into the name we have to make it work for us? You ever thought about that?
No.
You are right now.
I'm trying. My ADD kicked in, so I'm trying.
Squirrel.
I'm trying to remember exactly what you'd said.
Okay.
Can you repeat that last part?
Do you think we work into the name that we're given? You know, we make it work for us, or are we something else altogether when it comes to your name?
Your name is just. I mean,
you don't think your name is who you are.
it's just what everybody knows
You
to call
as.
you.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of people that have the same first and last name as you.
Mm-hmm. You rarely run into them.
Correct. But then you've got to have something else that identifies you.
Mm-hmm. And that was the list that you gave earlier for you. You named
for me, that's
the things that
my
you would identify as.
I guess for myself, my name, does not tell me who my name doesn't tell me who I am. The people that I surround myself with, my actions are what it's what shows
Sometimes.
people who I am.
Yes. But is that the real you?
Technically, no. Well, I mean,
Let's go untechnically.
so around your friends or not so close friends, around your acquaintances, you're usually someone different. You put on a mask, you act differently, you do different things. Whereas when you're around your spouse, your children, your parents, you act a completely different way. You are more like yourself. But you're not ever truly who you are until you're by yourself, in your own head, in your own thoughts.
Well, as we go through this show, you could change that sentiment.
Who says I want to change that?
No, I didn't say you wanted to. I just say it's a possibility that you will change it.
There's a possibility that I'll win the lottery tonight.
You didn't buy a ticket.
Who says I didn't?
You can't win the lottery if you don't buy. They don't sell them at the Dollar General.
They do across the street.
You didn't go over there.
Who
Anyway. Anyway. You. Of course, I
Me.
looked. You.
Me.
I looked on Google.
You like to Google a lot.
Sometimes.
A lot.
I liked the definition of you, which I think I made this one up myself, actually. This is not Google. This is me, not you.
This is you.
Correct. The one in the mirror. Michael Jackson put it.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
oh. Yeah, that's how Michael Jackson put it. The man in the mirror. So the guy that you're looking at in the morning when you're washing your face, brushing your teeth, combing your hair,
If you do any of
if
that.
you're so lucky to have.
Some people just get up, get dressed, and run out the door.
So the guy in the mirror is you. Today's episode, we're going to talk about 3 yous. The first one is the you that you perceive to be.
So basically, when you're talking about you, we're talking about our identifications.
Ish. Because it could go. We'll go with that. That's good.
Because
The one in your head, the one that you think everyone sees. In other words, like when you walk into work in the morning after you've left your home and you've gotten ready, drove down the road, woke up somewhat, and the one when you walk in the door that you think everyone sees, that's the one in your head that you think everyone else sees.
Okay.
Now that's just seeing, no speaking, no action. I mean, that's just the one they see. All right. Now, go a little further with that. How you speak to people and how they react, that same one that you think how everyone perceives you.
So the what you think that they identify you as you're walking in
Yes.
without saying a word.
Yes.
Then
That person is in your head as the one, the you that you believe everyone else perceives you to be.
okay.
That is one version of you. And the perception that others have of you. So that you, I don't want to overuse the letter U today. but that's the one in your head that you think everyone sees. So, my opinion of that you, and when I say you, I mean me,
Okay.
I think is somewhat skewed. I think there's some acting. I think that you, and again by you I mean me, when you maybe you walk differently around different people. Maybe you,
Certain people you might be more confident around. Some people
Right.
you might be less confident around.
right? So which one of those yous is real? Are they both consistently real? You're just not the same person around different people? Maybe?
Technically, you are the same. You're the same person. It's just different people make you feel differently. So it's not that you're acting as somebody different. You're just acting. I won't even say acting. You are just being who you are around the people that make you feel a certain way. Like, if, say, I wasn't married and I was walking by a really attractive woman.
Let's say you are married because
Okay.
you are, and you walked by a really attractive woman. Now, let's find out the real you.
Now,
Or the perceived you. That's the one we're talking about.
well, we're first going to go with me not being married. If I was not married at this point and I walked by a really attractive woman, I would probably be more timid, more afraid of looking unattractive to her.
Not Chris Farley looking for the weight room.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Have you seen the weight room? Tommy boy.
I would be trying to present a more attractive look.
How would you do that all of a sudden? You are what you are. But in your mind, you're thinking about what?
You're
put
thinking
your chest out more.
You're
look more-
thinking, oh, that woman looks a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try in what I perceive that what I think that she would perceive as someone that is attractive, good looking, could be a future mate
But
of some sort.
how's that going to change in an instant? You kind of are what you are.
No,
you know?
it changes the way you act.
But okay, but you're just walking by.
So
What are you going to change?
You could stand up straighter.
Stand
you
up
could
straight.
be.
She's going to notice that. Oh, he's got a straight back. That's the one.
Well, so I mean, certain actions therefore cause
Eye contact. That's
eye contact. They put forward certain. I guess you could say it makes people think there are certain aspects to you through the way that you present yourself. Someone that is.
But is that really you?
I mean, it could be. Yeah, it is you because you're the one being that.
It's to pretend you.
No, it is who you are putting forth. So you can that look.
No, I totally didn't get that. It's the you you're putting forth. What does that mean?
That is you.
Right.
It might,
But when I speak Spanish, right? That's not really me.
no,
but
that's you. That is you being who you are.
But it's a joke,
You're putting forth a joke. You are being who you are.
right?
You're not doing it and saying that you can speak fluent Spanish. No, you're doing it as
I
a
didn't
joke,
say that.
which is then bringing forth
Correctamundo.
a part of your personality.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
now we're going to change it to where I'm married.
Okay. Let's change it to you're married.
Okay. I'm not looking for a partner.
You're not going to straighten your back up. I mean, the other things you did.
I mean, you could still do
Are you
some of
still
those
going to
things.
do the same things?
Probably not purposefully, no. Because I'm not trying to present myself out there as someone who is.
Peacock.
I'm not peacocking. I'm not trying to be looked at. I'm not trying to put myself as available.
But should you not present you at your highest level, regardless if you're trying to get a mate or you're just walking in public? Shouldn't you present the highest level you that you can, or no? Regardless if you're married, if whatever.
I mean, it kind of depends on the way you're talking about, because if you're married to somebody, you should not be putting yourself, you should not be putting yourself forcefully in situations.
I'm not talking about unzipping your zipper. I'm just talking about walking in public. Just, hey, here I am, groomed, and maybe you've got some Axe spray on or something, some cologne if people still wear that.
People do. In
That's
our line of work,
I don't believe
people don't do that because we get all
wanting
sweaty.
someone to sleep with you or something. I think it's just presenting yourself to the highest level you can.
When you look good, you're doing it for others. You're doing it for people to look at you.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Why do you put on deodorant?
For me.
No.
I don't want to smell.
That's like saying why don't you want to smell?
Because that's not a good... I don't like smelling sweat. Smelly underarms. I don't want to smell that. That's not for others. That's for me. Why do you wipe when you go to the bathroom? That's not for others.
Says I do. I'm just gonna go poop again. What's the point? What's the point in wiping if I'm just
you
gonna
do
go
that
poop
for
again?
yourself. You don't do that for others. I mean, if others get the benefit out of it, hey, that's great.
My wife's gonna hit me when she listens.
She ought to. You deserve a hitting. Just don't hit you back there. Mud hole.
It'll sound like what that
Stomp
laugh
a
you
mud
just
hole.
did.
Literally. Oh gosh. Yeah. So
No, but what I'm getting at though
presenting yourself
is why
as the
does
highest level you can.
why does a woman wear makeup?
We could have a whole show on that, Chris.
No, but it's
I think to start with, it's for her. I'm not a woman. I like women to wear makeup. Yes,
women
but
say this all the
I
time.
think it starts for them, though.
No, it does not.
Self-confidence.
Does not start for them. Makeup is made to
Paint on the barn. Paint on the barn.
makeup.
Yes, that's what it is. Paint on the barn.
So you're saying a woman's a barn?
If you use her face as such, yes. You seen an old barn without any? Yeah.
Now, what I'm getting at is
What are you getting at, Chris?
makeup is the beginning of makeup was to give women the look of what Jordan Peterson said it.
Ferris Bueller?
Jordan Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jordan Peterson? You've never heard of him?
I thought there was a character on Ferris Bueller named
No, he's
Jordan
a very controversial Canadian professor who
French.
is Canadian. He speaks English. He got in trouble because he wasn't forcefully going to use someone's pronouns, and so he got in trouble at his university, and he does a lot of philosophy thinking. But he came out and the beginning of makeup, he said was made to give a woman a look of being sexually aroused, because that was more attractive to a man. And the more and more we make makeup is just adding to that physique.
I'm guessing we don't know anything about that subject. So let's talk about you.
Just because we aren't like
Makeup people.
No, what I'm saying is,
You ever wore makeup, Chris? Be
sadly,
honest.
I have.
Oh my gosh. The things we learn. You don't wipe and now you're wearing eyeshadow.
I didn't say that.
I have a mental picture of you right now that I don't
painted
like.
my face for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's makeup.
Yeah, that is.
It's made to look. It's made to make me look like
to
I
make
was
you look sexually aroused. Golly. All right, Chris, we want to talk about the you that everyone else sees. Not the one you think they see, but the one everyone sees.
Still your identification.
Everyone sees you from their own perspective, not from your perspective, from their perspective. Perspective. Now, people do have tendencies and prejudices. Some see color first. When you walk in a room, some people see instantly your color.
Because that's usually the first thing people notice.
No, they don't have to. They don't have to notice your color first. But through tendencies, prejudices, they notice that first. Their prejudice is their right. They can see me color first if they want to. But in my opinion, they're missing out if they noticed my color first.
First or at all?
First.
Why not at all?
I don't care that, to me, I'll use it as a car as an example. When I pass a car on the road, whether I notice it's a GMC, Mercedes-Benz, or a Honda,
or Toyota,
I would notice that before I notice the color of the car. There's nothing wrong with the car. It's a gray GMC truck. All right. So I noticed
What's the first thing that you put there?
Well, I was letting you know what I saw.
It wasn't a truck that's gray.
Anyway. So when you walk in a room, if the first and sometimes only thing that people see is that you're a certain color, that is their right. They can do that. Just think they're missing out on the real you.
Well, they're going to miss out on the real you because no one actually knows the real you.
Well, we're working toward that. We're just on 2 right now of 3. But well, okay. So if people may see your hair on your face when they see you walk in a room. They see the hair on your face, and they instantly have a prejudice or a tendency for the hair on your face. Because you have a lot of hair on your face.
They probably think I'm an unkept
right. Whatever their history is with hairy people on their faces, they have, you instantly bring them to that. Now, it could be a jolly thing to where they think about Santa and the big beard. Or maybe they had a grandfather that was a jerk, and they go to him, or possibly they lived in the hippie days when nobody shaved, and you do not look like a hippie, but
we know somebody who does.
If that's their original thought of you when you come in a room. That's who you are. You have hair on your face.
That's who you are until you change their mind. Unless they're like my Spanish teacher in high school.
That was way long ago.
I'm sorry, I should elaborate. I had a
hairy Spanish teacher in high school.
No, I had a Spanish teacher in high school that said that if a man has any more than a goatee on his face, he is no better than a trucker that wears a wife beater all the time and actually beats his wife.
Wow. He's got some issues.
He does.
Deep-seated. But is he wrong in his mind?
It don't matter
that
about
his prejudice about facial hair is just that. It's a prejudice that he has against facial hair.
Okay, but answer me this: is he wrong?
In his mind?
No, we're not. We're not doing that.
In his mind?
We're not doing that.
Sound like a 90-year-old man right there for.
Because you're using old logic
Not old logic.
Kind of are. I mean,
It's logic.
it's old logic.
No, there's no such thing.
We've come further.
So you believe in evolution?
I didn't say that.
We evolve, right? You just said that.
Our thinking can evolve.
Right.
I'm not saying physically we evolve.
Did I say physically?
Well, that's
I
evolution.
just said you believe in evolution. Yes, you do.
Do you believe in evolution?
I think people evolve,
Okay.
but I think we also go the other direction.
Yes, there are plenty of people that devolve. Our society right now is devolving, thinking that
But it's still an evolution.
no, it's a
Anyway.
de-evolution.
So you said, is that wrong for someone to look at you and say he belongs to the Hells Angels because he's got a hairy face?
Yes, he is wrong.
Right. Well, he has an opinion, and his
opinions
opinions
can be
come
wrong.
from a deep-seated path of where he's at right now. And in his history of hairy-faced men, he associates that with Harley riders.
Okay, that's
But the only way to change that is a conversation. He's not going to know any different. You walk in the room, walk out. He had an instant, that guy rides a Harley, or that guy smells, or that guy, whatever, drinks beer. He had an instant thought, probably just left his mind as soon as it went in it. But if it was going to be to where you two were going to have a conversation, then he would know that's not who you are. That you are not a Harley rider.
only because my wife won't let me.
So if I walk into a room and the first thing people notice is I don't have any hair,
I mean, that's
is that
easy.
a wrong way to look at me? Or that's just an observation?
It's an observation because they're getting blinded by the light.
Well, you know, God put hair on lots of heads on this earth, some of which he did not. So when he looked from his heavenly of heavens, he would see himself.
Or
Thank you.
Or he was giving a
Thank
defense,
you.
a defense mechanism.
Thank you.
So that nobody had to look at that face. So the light shines and blinds
Yes,
them.
you're
so they
hurting
don't
my
have to-
feelings.
You hurt my feelings all the time. I can get one.
There's a reason to shoot somebody. You shot at me. Shoot you back. Do cops see colors first, or do they see laws broken first? Now, this can go across the board. Some do this, some do that. Let's just talk about majority.
Majority of cops see the law infractions first.
That's what I think. But
Now,
that's not what we hear a lot of times. We hear about the other percentile of cops that see colors first and then look for a law broken.
Okay, here we go. We're going to change it up. The majority of the news media, when it comes to picking out a story of something, do you think that they look at the story first or the color of the person that's in the story first?
I think they're gonna get the one they can get the most listeners or watchers to,
And there again,
whatever that is.
And there again, are they going to look at the color of the person or the story?
Whatever gets them the most views. Yes.
I disagree with that.
It's okay.
And I have the right to be correct on this matter.
You can do that as well. It would be rare, but it's possible. You'll catch that one in just a minute. So many times, killers are described as a nice person. You've heard this before? Oh, he was such a nice guy. He'd help anyone. He wouldn't harm a flea. You heard that before. And this guy just killed 7 people.
Yep.
Why is that? Was the person that they saw the real? Let's use a generic name.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Another generic name.
Ted Kaczynski.
Those aren't generic. Joe
Ted
Smith.
Bundy.
Joe Smith lived next door to an 85-year-old lady. Joe Smith killed 17 people. Yet the Joe Smith that the 85-year-old lady, let's give her a name, Phyllis Steen. Maybe not that. I was going to try to make her Jewish, but anyway.
Let's call her Anna Geen.
Whatever. Let's call her 85-year-old lady next door. The only thing she's seen from the guy next door was just nice. Watered his lawn, maybe helped her out with her groceries from time to time. That's the one that she saw. So, of course, she's like, how could he kill anybody? Because she did not know the real Joe Smith. The real Joe Smith woke up at 1 a.m. and went and killed people. That's the real Joe Smith. And I wonder if we aren't, not Joe Smith, we're not going to go out and kill folks, but who are we? Like you said earlier in the show, who is the real Chris?
Who I am in my head and who I am when I'm alone.
Well, you see, you perceive you one way in your head, and I see you another way.
Yes,
but it's the same thing we're seeing.
Not necessarily.
You're telling
You can look at my face and you see the beard first, or you see my widow's peak, me losing my hair.
You've got lots of hair.
Not as much, more on the bottom of my face than on the top of it.
True. Turn you upside down. Put it out.
The real me is who I am in my own head to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Where I can also, well, I mean, the more I'm thinking about it, that's not even the real you, because you can always
manipulate you.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about these people that have eating disorders, where they think that they look at themselves in the mirror and they think that they're too fat when they're skinny as a rail, and so they're starving themselves.
Yeah.
And that's not the real them.
But you can manipulate you more than anybody.
Yeah.
And we probably do. Probably on a 24-hour regiment, telling ourselves, you can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of course you can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. We're telling ourselves constantly, you don't want to try that. You don't want to try a podcast. I mean, nobody's going to listen. What do you want to even try for?
Nobody listens to your podcast. Why would you even do it?
Exactly.
It's because it's for us.
That's in your head, right? But then once it happens, who cares? But the real you. Let's talk about the real you, Chris. The person you cannot fake. The real you. The person others probably won't ever get to see.
The real me that's riddled with anxiety a lot of the time. The real me that suffers from depression. The
which
stuff
is,
I can't fake.
Which is suppressed by medication. So when we talk about the real you, what would that look like without medication?
A more anxious, angry, depressed man who would not even think of making a podcast because I would be too afraid of what people might think of me in not only what I say, but my beliefs.
That you would not share? You think if you were unmedicated?
I think if I was not taking my medications, by the way they help me, no, I would not be doing this.
Okay.
Because I would be too anxious and too afraid of what people think.
So in your head, the real you is what we're talking about. Because the reason I ask these questions is because I'm talking about this you over here on this side of the table.
The one pointing at yourself.
The one pointing at this guy. And that's because for a time I also was on anxiety medicine for an episode that took place, and it helped me out. And for a time I could have stayed on it because it did get me in a new mindset. It calmed me down. It put me in a different state to where I was able to do things that I was not able to do before. And so, of course, I loved it. And I started to ask the question, is this the real me? I asked myself these questions. Well, it's the real me now. It's who I am now, more confident. I can do things now I could not do before. I don't feel wound up and tight. And it's a good feeling. Well, this medicine helped me with that. Well, like I said, I started to question that. Is that really who I need to be? I don't know. Let's find out. So I stopped the anxiety medicine. And for me, this was just for me, that me that was on the medication was also the me on the other side of the medication. And was I a little bit more intense, a little bit more nervous? Yeah, I was. But I also, and again, totally for me, I think the me that you see before you right now is the real me. I don't think, maybe I am acting.
But here's the question, though. Is the real you the right you?
I think so. Yeah. It's as right as it can be. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Because
for me, it is.
Okay, for you. What I'm saying
is... Yeah, I said all of that was just for me. That doesn't work for everybody.
Well, we've had the conversation the other day about homeless people with mental illnesses and all this. That's all well and good, but I can say from... Well,
it's not well and good, but...
Well, I'm just... that conversation was all well and good. And not that.
I know.
I can say, though, from me, the best me is to have those medications.
Yeah.
Because I know that on the other side of me taking those medications is someone who is so wound up, and then when something goes or something out of my control happens, I am very short-tempered. I am...
What is the opposite of that? Long-tempered?
Short to anger. Or no, it'd be long to anger. Short-tempered, long to anger, yeah. To where I'm...
Yeah, hey, if that helps you to be an improved you, then that's what you need to do. For me, I wanted to see what I look like without it.
No, I know what I look like.
I can't say it's easier, but I can say I feel as well as I can in control of my faculties. And I felt a little out of control on the medicine.
There again, though, you took the medicine, it helped you for a while, and you decided to get off of it, but you are still able to function and lead a meaningful life without it.
Meaningful. He says,
whereas if I were to not take mine, it would probably not be the way I would want to raise my children. I wouldn't want my children to be fast to say if something goes wrong. I wouldn't want them to see me
throw a chair across the room
and think that that's okay.
I think that's how life is.
Whereas,
but they also would do you feel like your emotions are subdued all the way around on anxiety medicine? Because I can say I did.
I can honestly say no. I think for me,
can you get as happy as you did prior to taking anxiety medicine?
I can actually say I have been, prior to my medications, I have not been as happy as I have been on them, because
I didn't get that.
okay, so through my anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
it would not let me reach those high highs.
Mm-hmm.
I could hit low lows,
Yeah.
but
You say without medicine.
without medicine,
Okay.
I'm so wound up all of the time. I'm not able to hit that high happiness threshold.
Gotcha.
Whereas through my medications, it's not letting me bottom out where I was before.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it is allowing me to, like with my children, I mean, watching my little girl grow up, watching her grow up, I mean, just how happy she makes my heart.
Mm-hmm.
With all the new stuff she's doing, and I mean, it makes me sad because she's growing up and
Enjoy every second of it.
trying.
Yep.
But I
You know that song, "It Won't Be Like This for Long"?
no, but I don't want to.
The guy from, what's his name? Hootie and the Blowfish guy.
Darius Rutger.
Darius Rucker. Sang that song, "It Won't Be Like This for Long." And so when my little girl graduated preschool, they played that song. And wow. Boy, I just took that to heart.
Wasn't a dry eye in the room.
No, it couldn't be. And I'm not a crier. I'm just not. But that right there was rough. And that song, to this very day, when I hear it, I go right back to preschool graduation, my little girl, and wow. Songs are wow. That song, hey, let me just tell you, you can listen to that song any day from this day forward, and you're going to be sad.
Oh, there's
Happy, but sad.
there's plenty of songs that I can't listen to anymore because the more I get to thinking about the lyrics. It's like
There it is.
it hits like a
There
freight
it
train.
is. Let me ask you a question. Question, Chris. Do you show God the real you?
No, I can honestly say no. He
Do
knows.
you think
He knows.
anybody does?
Very few people, if any.
Here's the thing, though. He knows the real you.
Yeah.
So who are you showing? Are you showing you that you want to show God?
You're presenting the you that you want God to see, but even though God knows that
Isn't that kind of a joke? When you stop and think about it, the peacocking that you're trying to do for God is a joke. That's nuts.
say it's
So
a
who
joke.
at church, who's walking into that church building Sunday morning presenting the real you, the broken, the sinful you that has went through the week, and here you are presenting yourself, and everything's great. Woo!
But who
You
there
know-
is to present themselves as the perfect person?
I don't think I don't think you're trying to present perfection, but you're showing, I've always used the adage that you should go to the church in your pastor wears a suit. So a lot
Preacher.
do not wear a suit nowadays. If they wear a suit, and maybe the upper, whatever leadership you have in your church, wear suits, then on special occasion, the quote-unquote regular folk might wear a suit. Suits are hard to find nowadays in your churches. So
Goodwill. No, in the church.
if dressing up in your church looks like a collared shirt and slacks, if that's the dress up point in your church, is that I've always thought whatever that limit is at your church, that's what you show up looking like at the highest limit you can, the highest level that you can. But with that, you're bringing the facade of I've got it all together. And so when when you go to church and you're wearing your Sunday best, and you're presenting yourself as such, I don't think that's wrong per se. I just don't know that group of people mindset is where the Lord wants us to be. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm speaking for, as the show goes, for you, but actually me. I don't know that, I think God would rather us to be not, the word low is not, I think sometimes you have to get low to get up. You know what I'm saying?
Usually that's how that works.
Yeah. And so if you show up to church low and leave, for lack of a better word, high, versus the other way around, showing up high and going out low, sometimes it's just a straight line, showing up and leaving. You've clocked in and
There's
you've
a lot
left.
of people that do that.
Right. And that's, I'm trying to, like I said before, God knows you, and you somewhat know you, and others probably won't ever know you. So I wonder if you spend the time to know the you that God knows versus the you you're trying to present to everybody else, would you not be a lot better off? That one you're trying to present to everyone else is never going to be successful in the fact of it being you, the real you, that you're trying to cover up for some reason. And by you, I mean me. So, if we could search ourselves and say, I'm just going to present me the way I am. The real me. This is it. I think that would be easy. There are people that I've met in life that just lie all the time. You ever met those folks?
Yep.
They just lie every sentence.
La 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 la. Sorry.
I don't know what that was.
It's a song.
Peacocking.
Yes. That is what that is.
Showing your talents.
Lack of.
The unsuccessful you that you present for everyone else. Why waste the time trying to be something that you will never be? And even if you were, others do not care at the end of the day, because they're worried about themselves, trying to present a person that they aren't really to someone that don't really care about it.
But can you really show the real you?
I know what I was talking about now. Lie. These people that I know that just lie all the time, and you sing that song, it just threw me off the track. So if someone lies continually, they cannot tell the truth, because in their mind, that lie is the truth. And it's a lie to cover up a lie, to cover up a lie, to cover up a lie.
So it's one of those people that believe their own lies after so many times.
They have to, because it's their truth. Although it's probably not true. So if you live a life to where, you continually try to tell the truth, and you love others, and you love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, would you not be successful? And by successful, I mean in life, not in monetary gain and all that kind of thing. Just generally in your mind. To me, that would be success.
Okay. You said earlier, wouldn't you think it'd be easier just to show yourself? And
I know.
No.
It's a difficult thing to describe.
No, what I'm getting at is no, it's actually not easier to show your real self. It's not easier for somebody to just show their flaws. It's easier for someone to cover up those flaws, because it's as simple as...
You're talking about makeup again, aren't you?
I wasn't, but okay.
You can see the connection.
I can see
there.
where you saw the connection there.
Yeah.
But no, it's easier for people to cover up the flaws because when other people see those flaws, they don't question you about it.
But they didn't care in the first place.
Who's to say they didn't care in the first place? They could be wanting to not look at themselves, so they try to find
Oh, yeah.
every single one of your flaws.
Yes. 100% on that one.
So it's easier to not show the flaws for them to point at.
That's got a lot of roots to it.
Like my hair has a lot of roots.
Okay.
No, what I'm getting at is, though,
What are you getting at, Chris?
it's easier to put on that facade. It's easier to not be yourself, to not put yourself out there.
I think that's unhealthy, though. Mentally.
I would agree with that sentiment, but I mean that's sentiment.
Cinnamon buns?
You're trying to get me hungry. You're ready to leave, so
don't
you're
have
making me
to
think
try.
of food. You kind of do. I got all this candy next to me.
That just ran through my mind. Well, here's what we want to say today is, if you would, don't give me that.
You're pointing at me.
I'm just pointing. If you would text the word "you" or the letter "you,"
No,
you
the word.
decide which one you want to text.
No, I'm going to decide
You.
for you.
The
Y-O-U.
letter U.
Y-O-U.
The letter "U" works better.
Y-O-U.
Now that he's being real fussy about it,
I
we'll just go with the letter U. It's karma there, Chris. 615-330-3644. The letter U.
No, the word you. Y-O-U.
U. Why we use Y and O, I don't know. It's a waste of two letters. And a vowel on top of that. We could just throw those aside. Two vowels. They're all vowels. Wow.
It's the way society.
They're
It's the
all
way
vowels.
society has.
I'm not
deemed
subjecting myself to what society wants.
You
I'm
do it
doing the way
every.
I
You do
want
it every day.
Is U, the letter U, to my
Y-O-U.
number, and drop us an idea. We will try to use it to the best of our abilities.
Unless you just spell the letter U, then I won't try to my best ability.
And it's not his number anyway.
I still see it, do I not? You showed it to me.
No, I don't.
You do?
Why'd your voice go up 3 notches?
Because I like to do this.
All right, let's tell them bye there, Chris.
I don't want to.
That's the way
But first, I want to ask them
we
to
say
share
hello
it.
and then we say goodbye.
No, at first I would like to ask them to share this with their friends, family, or Facebook people that they see all the time, or any other social media. If they could try to get our podcast out there to more listeners, that would
Seems to be working.
be much appreciated.
Yeah.
Now is the time where we will tell them that we will try to do this again next time.
We will try
When will be next time?
next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.